Nestled among the picturesque range of the Tirumala hills is the bustling city of Tirupati, surrounded by rich flora and fauna. With Tirupati being chosen as one of the 100 cities to be developed under the Smart Cities mission by the Government of India, the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, IISER Tirupati, is one such institute that has been administered and set up by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, now renamed as the Ministry of Education, along with another institute, the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Tirupati, on the science and technology front. The foundation stone of IISER Tirupati was laid on 28 March 2015 by the then Union Minister for Human Resource Development, Srimati Smriti Irani, at Yerpedu Mandal, about 30 kilometers from the city centre, along with that of IIT and Triple IT. Tirupati is the only city in India to host an IISER and an IIT. IISER Tirupati commenced all its activities in the transit campus at Sri Rama Engineering College and received mentoring from IISER Pune, one of the first IISERs to be established. Over these 6 years, the institute has grown in number with around 800 students and about 50 faculty members at present. IISER Tirupati is proud to have achieved an almost equal gender ratio through the years among students. The construction of the main campus is now underway at a brisk pace, with the UG block, including labs, lecture halls, and hostel facilities, already completed and being used for experiments. The institute has meticulously charted programs and coursework for students who aspire to pursue an integrated BSMS course at the undergraduate level, integrated master's and PhD program, full PhD program, and postdoctoral research. These programs are offered broadly under the disciplines of biology, chemistry, earth and climate sciences, mathematics, and physics. The courses available to the students have variety and depth, with faculty at the institute drawn from diverse areas of specialization. The institute now offers more than 150 courses across various disciplines, and students have complete freedom to mix and match courses to suit their interests. These courses are a blend of lectures and laboratory sessions to incorporate a research-based component while learning the subjects. New courses are being added every year as per the requirement and interests of students and faculty. The Institute firmly believes that science should be taught as it occurs in nature and practiced as it is taught. The UG lab courses are supplemented by carefully designed experiments with the necessary laboratory equipment, focusing on strengthening basic concepts in science and allowing the students to explore their curiosity simultaneously. The library at IISER Tirupati is a storehouse of information catering to the varied interests and requirements that each one has, with about 8,000 books, 2,000 plus e-journals and 9 databases, 20 print journals and magazines in numerous fields and genres with online accessibility. To further support the deep-rooted research-driven learning culture on campus, UG students have access to state-of-the-art high-end research facilities set up at the institute. These include NMR, mass spectrometry, confocal microscopy, single molecule force spectrometer, cell culture, power XRD, and single crystal XRD required to carry out frontline research. IISER Tirupati established a state-of-the-art COVID-19 sample testing facility accredited and approved by the ICMR at the transit campus as suggested by the Ministry of Education and the Government of Andhra Pradesh. The lab has already tested around 1.5 lakh samples as of now. IISER Tirupati recently received a 10 crore grant from SERB, Government of India, for building a biosafety level 3 laboratory, the first of its kind in Andhra Pradesh. The institute has established strong ties with a number of national and international institutions to enhance students' learning experience and faculty collaborations. Some of these include strong collaborations with the Max Planck Society of Germany, University of Newcastle, and the University of Melbourne in Australia, and with the ENS and CNRS in France. Two of our students have done their master's thesis at ENS Lyon this year. In the process of building strong collaborations, MOUs with international and national institutes have increased over the years. With an aim to build strong tie-ups with regional institutes, IISER Tirupati signed an MOU with the Mahila University this year. IISER Tirupati has earlier signed an MOU with the University of Melbourne, Australia on initiating a joint PhD program and with the SV University for monitoring of BSc blended program in colleges in Andhra Pradesh. Discussions are already in progress on joint courses, projects, and collaborative research with IIT Tirupati and Kriya University. IISER Tirupati is also a part of the new venture initiated in Tirupati called the Innovation Science and Technology Foundation. CAMOST, India's first center of national importance in the frontier areas of atomic, molecular, and optical sciences, was established last year as a joint initiative by IIT Tirupati and IISER Tirupati to address key challenges and promote innovative research initiatives in these fields. The institute has also participated in various events as a part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav initiative by the Government of India. Under this program, the institute has organized several departmental seminars and colloquia. IISER Tirupati has also participated in the Pariksha Pe Charcha, Yoga Day celebrations, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan initiatives by the Government of India. The institute has published over 140 papers in highly impactful international journals over the past year. While every faculty member has niche expertise in their respective field of research, several of them are involved in interdisciplinary collaborative research crossing the boundary between seemingly unrelated subjects. The institute has witnessed a constant rise in the number of research publications in various international journals of high repute. Some of these publications even include BSMS students as co-authors reporting their semester and MS thesis projects. The iGEM team of undergraduates from IISER Tirupati bagged a gold medal at the International Competition on Synthetic Biology, iGEM, for the third time in a row for their project titled OviCloak, a novel contraceptive for uterus owners. Vikshana, a forum to empower women scientists on campus, which was launched last year, has conducted many talks and sessions, the most notable one being the talk Musings from a Life in Cell Biology by Professor Chandrima Saha, the president of the Indian National Science Academy. Popularization of science and public outreach are aspects that the Institute has always laid a strong emphasis on. To make the process of learning science a joyous experience, the Institute organizes Science Day on the 28th of February each year, open to school and college students. This year, the event was conducted virtually with invited talks and a virtual science fair where students presented talks on astrophysical and earth science phenomena as well as innovative ideas to tackle several societal issues. Unnati, the outreach arm of the Institute, is involved in social service in and around the Institute, organizing blood donation camps, clothes donation drives, setting up libraries in government schools, and conducting workshops for students in high school. There are a number of student-run clubs that are active, with each club being mentored by faculty coordinators. Subject-specific clubs like BioVision, Birding and Trekking Club, Celestic, Schrodinger's Kittens, Synergy, Quasar, Petrichor, and the Math Club aim to improve students' collective understanding of the subjects and constantly fuel their curious minds. Being home to a confluence of students from various social and cultural landscapes from across the country, the Institute celebrates various festivals such as Onam, Holi, Ugadi, Ganesh Chaturthi, and Diwali. The Institute also organized several programs in connection with the Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat initiative, the most notable one being the Ethnic Day celebrations and the Rangoli competition held at the permanent campus in a bio bubble. This year, we have 89 students graduating with BSMS degrees, and over half of them have already received PhD positions at various institutes across the globe. We are also immensely proud to have our first few PhD students graduating this year. The success and experiences of the batch of BSMS 2017 graduating this year have immensely influenced the batches to follow. Let us look at what some of them have to say about their experiences at IISER Tirupati as they chronicle their journey through the 5 years.
Hello, this is Neha from 2017 PhD batch. When I first came to IISER, I was alone and afraid, and I told my parents to stay in a nearby hotel for 2 days in case I decide to go back. 3 days later, I was celebrating ethnic day and laughing on inside jokes with my new friends. 3 days later, I participated in the physics day and presented my first poster. A year later, we all volunteered for the ASI meeting with international delegates. I had a lot of fun that year. Just when I thought my network had stabilized, the pandemic hit and dynamics changed to work from home. It was a sudden transition. Classes became virtual and faces became icons on the grid. But Professor Ambika was the same mentor through the screen, and my friends were the same idiots through the screen. I'm honored to have her as my guide on this incredible journey that now comes to an end. Being the first PhD in IISER Tirupati is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm really grateful and lucky to have all the company in and out of research here. Thank you all. Thank you, IISER. Sayonara.
My experience here at IISER Tirupati has mostly been positive. I have learned a lot more than just math and science from the faculty here. These things have ranged from badminton skills to those of self-advocacy. Sports and cultural meets meant that we could travel to different parts of the country to meet new people to learn from and compete with. Late night math club and literature club meetings, Speak activities, special festival games and lunches are some of my best memories from this place. The IISER curriculum and the hostel life gave me numerous opportunities to interact with and befriend people from different parts of the country belonging to a spectrum of social structures, which made me start realizing my own set of biases, stereotypes, and privileges. This, apart from education itself, has been my biggest takeaway from this place.
Hello, I'm Divita, a BSMS student who will be graduating this year. I joined IISER Tirupati in 2017 when we were a tiny institute with just 2 buildings in our temporary campus and with a small set of students and faculty and admin. And now to be here 5 years later, to have grown with the institute and to be receiving a degree feels very nice. And none of this would have been possible without the wonderful people who I met here, like the faculty who have made us become the person and the researcher who we are now. And also thank you to all the opportunities that IISER Tirupati opened up for me, like participating in iGEM or going to the ENS in France to do my master's. And I will always be grateful to and cherish the memories that I've made with my friends here, whether it's events in IISER Tirupati or even the everyday life here. Thank you.
IISER Tirupati provided me a platform to realize my interest in science. The educational foundation I received and the research experiences I had at IISER encouraged me to pursue a career in science. One such experience was my participation in an international synthetic biology competition called IIGEM, along with 14 other team members. IISER also gave me an opportunity to do my master's thesis at EMS Leon through the IISER EMS internship program. So I would like to thank all the faculties for providing me constant support and mentoring throughout the last 5 years.
At the upcoming permanent campus, world-class facilities are being created for research, teaching, and student residence and recreation. With these efforts, IISER Tirupati will surely emerge as a premier research and education hub. With the dynamic interactions between faculty and students in the enabling environment, realizing the motto of the institute, creating infinite possibilities, is certain.
Ladies and gentlemen, the third convocation function of the Institute is about to commence. The academic procession will now be entering the hall. We request all of you present in the hall to please rise and remain standing till all the members in the academic procession are seated. Welcome to the third convocation of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Tirupati. I now request Dr. Mohan Kumar, Registrar, IISER Tirupati, to commence the proceedings and welcome the gathering.
Good morning to everyone. Today, 92 students are graduating from this institute, which is a culmination of their academic efforts and hard work put in over the past 5 years in acquiring knowledge and skills in their chosen areas of study. We are indeed privileged to have with us today Professor Gagandeep Kang, FRS, from the Division of Gastrointestinal Sciences, Christian Medical College, Vellore, as our chief guest for the third convocation of the Institute, and we extend a very warm welcome to Professor Kang on this occasion. The graduating students will be keen to listen. The graduating students will be keen to listen to the convocation address from Professor Kang in a short while from now. We also welcome our Chairperson, Board of Governors, Professor J.B. Joshi, who is with us online to preside over today's convocation function. A hearty welcome to you, sir. We extend a very warm welcome to all the members of the statutory bodies of the Institute, the Board of Governors, Finance Committee, Building and Works Committee, who have joined us either in person or online. The Senate of the Institute is the statutory body vested with the responsibility and authority to oversee the academic functioning of the Institute, and it recommends the award of degrees, prizes, and medals. We have with us the members of the Senate of IISER Tirupati seated on the dais, with Professor K.N. Ganesh, Director, leading the Senate as the chairperson. We extend a warm welcome to the Director and all the members of the Senate who are here with us in person and those who have joined us virtually. Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati, is also here with us and is a member of the Board of Governors of IISER Tirupati. A warm welcome to you, sir. To the graduating students of the 2017 batch, many of whom have come here today in person, and to those who could not be here in person and who have joined us online, we welcome you to the third convocation function as you pass an important milestone in your life. We are delighted to welcome our faculty, staff, and parents and guardians of the graduating students, some of whom are seated here in the hall, and others who are watching the live streaming of these proceedings from different places, and all other students and our special guests and invitees who have joined us today in person or through virtual media. We warmly welcome all of you to this function. Thank you. I now request our Chairperson, Board of Governors, Professor J.B. Joshi, to declare the third convocation open.
I declare the convocation open.
The award of the degrees, prizes, and medals will now commence. I request Professor Gauri Ambika, Coordinator, Academic Programs, to present the candidates for the award of PhD, BS, and MS degrees, and Professor Krishna N. Ganesh, Chairperson, Senate, to admit them.
I, Coordinator of Academic Programs, present to you, sir, 3 students of the PhD program, 89 students of the BS MS program, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed courses of study. 3 students have been declared eligible to be awarded the Doctor of Philosophy. 88 students have been declared eligible for both the degrees of Bachelor of Science and Master of Science. And 1 student has been declared eligible to receive a Bachelor of Science degree. I pray that they be admitted to the said degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Director and Chairperson of the Senate of IISER Tirupati, I admit the candidates presented, including those in absentia, to the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Bachelor of Science, and Master of Science of the Institute, with all the honors, rights, and privileges, and expect them to be worthy of the same.
I will now call out the names of the graduating students being awarded Doctor of Philosophy and appearing in person one by one. Sneha Kachara. She is from the discipline of physics and completed the program under the supervision of Professor G. Ambika. The title of her thesis is Data-Driven and Dynamical Network. Sneha Kachara. Gudeti Rohit Kumar. He is from the discipline of biology and completed PhD under the supervision of Dr. Pakkala Suresh Babu. His thesis is titled Novel Role of Chromatin Modifiers in the Modulation of Glucose Metabolism in Breast Cancer. Gudethi Rohit Kumar. Subramanian M. He is from the discipline of chemistry and did his research under the supervision of Dr. E. Balaraman. His thesis is titled Non-Precious Metal Catalysis for the Dehydrogenation and Related Reactions. Subramanian M. I will now call out the names of graduating students being awarded Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees and appearing in person one by one. Preknya Soya. Banavattu Deepthi Nayak. Neelima K. P.S. Vishnu Prasad. Nikita Balothi. Pap Shettiar Chinmay Ajay. Elizabeth Shibi. Geetanjali TV. She is getting BS and MS degrees with distinction. Darshan H. Sagarika VK. Amartya Bera. Tamhane Vedang Devendra. Savant Suyesh Gopal. Pavaluri Sushama Seshu. Prerak Joshi. Devita Balasubramanian. She is getting BS and MS degrees with distinction. Nimi V. Shaji. Bansode Susmit Sadanand. T. Sri Vidya Vaijayanti. Jasmine P. Jacob. Angel Rose Thomas. Megha Maria Jacob. Shinoj S. Nair. Kartikeya Abadhani. Aishwarya Lakshmi MG. Vishnu A. Uppu Harish. Paila Satya Venkataraja Manish. Akshaya Kirti CS. Ishita Amar. Punya AJ. BS and MS degrees with distinction. Meera Joy. BS and MS degrees with distinction. Vijas N. Damale Purva Sripat. Aditya S. Atul Aji P. Asirin PM. More Prasanna Tukkara. Vignesh VG. Mukesh Kumar S. Chinapalli Lohita. Karan V. Mrigaraj Goswami. Dodda Naga Vaishnavi. Ishika Ghosh. She is getting BS and MS degrees with distinction. Bismiya Fasni CK. Anina Renu P. Anakha KS. Pisal Prajwal Dattatre. Krishikeshan KP. Bhavya BS. Pratnya Dolkar. Ranganatha BR. Devika CD. Pratibha Sasawat. Dola Manudeep Rao. Arya Krishna T. JP Jeno Christina. Arati Krishna G. Sahyadri Devidat Krishna. Spurti Gowda. She is getting BS and MS degrees with distinction. Kirti O. Rajusha P. Vaishali Yadav. Sahil Atri. Harsha Jagadish. Gayatri Rameshan. Badhavat Naresh. Vasundhara K. S. Dheeraj Kumar. Sudhirtha Chattopadhyay. Beharusa Farha K. Sultana Begum. Visam Pratyusha. Shadia Kondachan Parambil. Subia Haq. Kedar Prasanna ND. Abdul Rahman Sadiq. Konda Hema Hassan Sai. And Neeraja P. I will now announce the names of the graduating students being awarded Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees virtually. The photograph of the student and his or her degree certificates will simultaneously be displayed on the screen. Manik Kaundal. Himanshu.
Granted.
Shuprika Jain.
Granted.
Desai Aman Mukesh.
Granted.
Sabanna B. Bajrantri.
Granted.
Suthanshu Shekhar Delai.
Granted.
M. Lalit Kumar.
Granted.
Mude Maunika. She is getting BS degree.
Granted.
And Abhinaba Majumdar. He is getting BS and MS degrees with distinction.
Granted.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to all the graduating students.
The Chairperson, Board of Governors, Professor J.B. Joshi, has signed the Register of Graduates. Please display the Register of Graduates.
Professor Gauri Ambika, Coordinator, Academic Programs, will now present the candidates for award of the Institute's Gold Medal, Silver Medals, and the prize for the Best Graduating Student. I request our Chief Guest, Professor Gagandeep Khan, to present the medals and the prize.
The Institute Gold Medal is awarded to the student who tops the BSMS batch by securing the highest cumulative grade point average. I present to you Deepita Balasubramanian from the discipline of biology for the award of the Institute Gold Medal in 2022. Deepita Balasubramanian has an outstanding academic record all through the BSMS program and tops her batch with a CGPA of 9.8 on a scale of 10 with specialization in biology. She received the prize for academic excellence continuously in 6 out of the 8 semesters. During her study at IISER Tirupati, Deepita attended the National Science Camp twice, the 12th Asian Science Camp in Indonesia. She was part of the Institute's first iGEM team for the year 2019 that won the gold medal, and her contribution was in mathematical modeling. She received the IISER ENS internship for international students in 2021 to pursue her MS thesis at ENS Lyon, France on role of genomic content in mediating enhancer-promoter interactions during Drosophila development. And she was guided by Dr. Yad Gavi Helm at the Institute of Functional Genomics. She has co-authored a review on vaccine development perspectives from life history traits. Deepita is joining for PhD program at ENS Lyon soon. I request our chief guest to hand over the medal, and I request Deepita to come forward and receive the medal. The prize for the best graduating student is awarded to the student with excellent performance in academics and extracurricular activities. The award comes with a certificate of merit and a prize money. I present to you Megha Maria Jacob from the discipline of biology for the award of the best graduating student in 2022. Megha Maria Jacob completed BSMS program with a CGPA of 8.8 on a 10-point scale with specialization in biology. She was an active member of the Institute's first IGEM team that won gold medal and represented the Institute at the All India IGEM meet at IISER Bhopal and the IGEM Giant Jamboree at Boston in year 2019. Megha received the IISER ENS internship for international students in 2021 to pursue her MS thesis on elucidating the role of GIGA in the transition of the epithelial cell shape from cuboidal to squamous, under the supervision of Dr. Muriel Gramont at ENS Lyon, France. She has actively participated in various students' activities and cultural programs like Vivante. She excels in athletics and represented IISER Tirupati in 3 inter-IISER sports meet. And in 2019, her team bagged the silver medal in Kho-Kho. Megha is planning to continue her research in biology for her PhD. I request the chief guest to hand over the prize, and I request Megha to come forward and receive the prize. The Institute silver medals are awarded to the students who obtain the highest CGPA in a particular discipline. I present to you Meera Joy from the discipline of chemistry for the award of the Institute silver medal in 2022. Meera Joy completed BSMS program with DST Inspire Scholarship, securing the CGPA of 9.2 among students with specialization in chemistry. Her MS thesis was on development of enantioenriched alkaloids with state-specific anti-malarial activities under the guidance of Dr. Rajesh Vishwanathan at IISER Tirupati. During her study here, Meera attended Dana Farber's Chemical Biology Symposium, Bringing Chemistry to Medicine Symposium, 9th Annual Conference of ICBS, etc. She was awarded SNBO Scholars Program 2020, Winstep Forward from DBT, and IISER ENS internship in 2021. Meera will be soon joining the graduate program in chemistry at the University of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I request the chief guest to hand over the medal, and I request Meera to come forward and receive the medal. I present to you Mr. Ranganatha B.R. from the discipline of physics for the award of the Institute Silver Medal in 2022. Ranganatha completed BSMS program with KVPY scholarship, securing the highest CGPA among students with specialization in physics. His MS thesis was on spatio-temporal analysis of extreme rainfall clusters over the North Indian Ocean under the guidance of Dr. Vedartha Goswami from the Tübingen University, Germany. During the BSMS program at IISER Tirupati, Ranganatha has attended the FRCCS conference in 2021 and the NIUS Summer School in 2019. Ranganatha plans to pursue PhD in physics in areas related to machine learning as applied to problems in nonlinear dynamics. I request our chief guest to hand over the medal, and Ranganatha, please come forward and receive the medal. I present to you Abhinava Majumdar from the discipline of mathematics for the award of the Institute Silver Medal in 2022. He will be awarded the medal virtually. Abhinava Majumdar completed BSMS program with DST Inspire Scholarship, securing the highest CGPA of 9.2 among students with specialization in mathematics. His MS thesis was on provable secure digital signatures under the guidance of Dr. Anilatmaja Arya Somayajula of IISER Tirupati and co-supervisor Dr. Hartwig Mayer from the RAND Labs. During his study, Abhinava has attended Vijoshi camp in 2017 at IISc Bangalore. He was part of the Institute's iGEM team for the year 2020 that won the gold medal, and his contribution was in mathematical modeling and website design. Abhinava plans to join for PhD at University of Zurich, Switzerland. His silver medal will be awarded virtually. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
I request the chairperson to extend his wishes to the graduating students, please. You're muted, sir. Professor Joshi.
I congratulate all the graduating students, great successes in their chosen areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Joshi. Thank you, Professor Khan, for presenting the medals and the prize. I now request Professor Krishna N. Ganesh, Director, IISER Tirupati, to present his report.
Professor J.B. Joshi, Chairman, Board of Governors, Professor Gagandeep Kang, there's an echo coming, the Chief Guest of Third Convocation of IISER Tirupati, members, Board of Governors, members, Senate, members, Finance Committee, members, Building and Works Committee, the graduating students, parents, invited guests present in the hall, and those who have joined online, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to present this report of the Institute for the year 2021-22. Starting in 2015 with the first batch of 35 BSMS students, the Institute has now grown to 697 BSMS students, 129 PhD students, 60 integrated PhD students, and 30 postdoc fellows, numbering to a total of 916 students. Come this August, the number will cross 1,100 with a fresh batch of BSMS admissions. The faculty strength is 49, much below the DPR approved 1:10 ratio, and the administration, engineering, and support staff also being 49. This is our third convocation. During the first online convocation in 2020, 35 students received their BSMS degrees, and during the second convocation in 2021, conducted in a hybrid mode, 65 students received BS and MS degrees. During today's convocation, being held in hybrid mode, 88 students received BS and MS degrees, and 1 student awarded BS degree. I am delighted to inform you that the Institute's first 3 PhD degrees were awarded this year. Let me congratulate all of these students and their parents. We have always been fortunate to have very distinguished chief guests for our Institute convocations, starting from Dr. K. Kasturi Rangan, the architect of India's National Education Policy 2020 for the first convocation, Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, FRS, a distinguished biologist, former Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, and the then Principal Scientific Advisor for the second convocation. This year, we are most fortunate to have Professor Gagandeep Kang, a very distinguished medical researcher and a virologist, who was honored with Fellowship of Royal Society, FRS, the first woman from India to receive this prestigious honor. Professor Kang will be formally introduced later in the program by Chairman Board of Governors. All these personalities have inspired us by their individual eminence, achievements, and invaluable public service to the country, and we sincerely acknowledge them. The construction of the permanent campus of IISER Tirupati that started during 2020 COVID year got delayed due to pandemic. During 2021-22, it has picked up the pace, but the earlier scheduled date of completion of November 22 is now rescheduled for July 2023. Nevertheless, Institute has already started activities on the main campus in this building, which houses undergraduate experimental labs with capacity for 300 students per session and the hostel residency of 540 students. By end of August, 2 more halls of residence will be ready for occupation with capacity for another 600 students, enabling all students of the first 4 years to reside on the campus. We have also established Janaki Ammal Research Center for Excellence in Plant Sciences, which is fully functional in this campus. Many of the buildings, the lecture hall in the campus, the sports center, dining hall, etc., will become ready in stages, and the institute will begin its function without waiting for the full completion of the campus. The master plan of our campus received a 4-star rating from Griha. During the academic year 2021-2022, many of our students and faculty members have made us proud by their achievements. Dr. Vijay Subramanian, Assistant Professor Biology, was awarded Wellcome Trust DBT Intermediate Fellowship. Dr. E. Balraman and Dr. Aravindan, Assistant Professors in Chemistry, received MRSI Medal and Lecture Prize from the Material Research Society of India. We happily note that Professor B.J. Rao, who was Chair of Biology, was appointed in August 2020 as Vice Chancellor of Central University of Hyderabad. We are also very delighted that Professor Ramesh Sonti, a distinguished plant scientist, well recognized for his transformative research in Samba Masuri rice, has joined as Chair of Biology at IISER Tirupati. Under his leadership, we have established a Center for Excellence in Plant Sciences, which is already functioning from the main campus. Our students, Shubhra Singhal and Shreyas Parki, with Kumaresh Krishnan from Harvard University, received Seed for Change grant from Mittal Foundation for their project, Boosting Natural Immunity During a Pandemic. They were jointly mentored by Dr. Venki Murthy, faculty at Harvard, and Dr. Vasudha Rani Devanathan from IISER Tirupati. The IISER Tirupati iGEM team won gold medal for the 3rd consecutive time in the year 2021 for their project, OV Clock, a novel contraceptive for uterus owners. IISER Tirupati students won 2 top prizes this year in the highly competitive Mimamsa, an intercollegiate national size quiz competition organized every year by IISER Pune. Akshay Nair was selected for Fulbright Nehru Doctoral Research Program to work for 9 months in a US host laboratory, collaborating with Dr. Annapurna Devi Allu on epigenetic inheritance of stress memory. Purva Atul Naik, who was mentored by Dr. Annapurna and Dr. Srinivas Chavli, got selected for MPI, Master's Thesis Internship. A total of 7 PhD students from IISER Tirupati were selected in 2021 for the prestigious Prime Minister Research Fellowship Award. The ENS France IISER meeting on pedagogy practices was held during May 10-11, 2021 with participation of several IISER and ENS faculty. As a result, a joint project submitted by IISER Tirupati with ENS has been shortlisted for the final stage. The IISER IIT Joint Research Initiative, Center for Atomic, Molecular, Optical Sciences and Technology, CAMOST, held the first joint meeting on research progress in August 2021, and some publications have already emanated from this collaboration. The Tirupati Education Cluster was launched with joint participation of IISER, IIT, Sri Venkateshwara University, Sri Padmavati Mahila University, with the following objectives: designing and sharing of courses, organize training and workshops for PhD students, participate in collaborative research, conduct joint community activities and public outreach, and set up incubation centers and startups, and also address the local, societal, environmental, and ecological issues. On the occasion of Science Day on February 28, 2022, Professor Ganapati Yadav, former Vice Chancellor of Institute for Chemical Technology, Mumbai, delivered a very thought-provoking lecture on important role of science and technology in sustainable development using hydrogen and circular economy. IISER Tirupati has signed an MOU with University of Melbourne, Australia for initiating joint PhD program. During 2021-2022 financial year, the faculty at IISER Tirupati received 18 extramural projects from various funding agencies to the tune of 13.8 crores, including 2 projects from industry. The institute received a sanction of rupees 10 crores from Department of Science and Technology for establishing the first BSL-3 facility in Andhra Pradesh. This will enrich our research in infectious diseases such as tuberculosis and virology, and the facility will be used by collaborating institutes and industry. IISER Tirupati has organized several science-related activities, workshops, research seminars, and outreach activities under Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav program on the year of India's 75 independence. In December 2021, the new undergraduate laboratory block and the 520 capacity students hostel became functional with 300 students residing, and the academic activities also started from the main campus here. The setting up of these facilities at 25 kilometers away from the transit campus was possible due to dedicated work from faculty members, technical and administrative staff under pandemic situation. IISER Tirupati published 131 research papers in 2021, and in 2022, the count of publication as of today's morning is 108. The publications include high-impact journals such as ACS Energy Letters, Journal of American Chemical Society, Organic Letters, ACS Chemical Neuroscience, Physical Review Letters, Physical Review E, Gene, Plant Molecular Biology, Nature Chemistry, Nature Communication, etc., to name a few. We have now crossed the number of research papers since inception to more than 500, really creditable for a new institute in its 7th year with only active research program for 5 years. Out of the 88 BSMS students graduated today, 54 students did their MS thesis work in external institutes, including 6 foreign institutes in Germany, Austria, France, Australia, and Switzerland. Already 15 students have confirmed offers for joining PhD program in institutes and universities outside India in US, Europe, and Australia, while 2 students are joining in company jobs, while 1 student will pursue MBA. Among the 3 PhD graduates who received degrees today, 2 are joining for postdoc positions in Northwestern University, United States, and Queen's University in Canada. With these highlights about the institute, I end my report and hope that 2022 will see even more rapid rise. We are eagerly awaiting to see all our BSMS, INT PhD, and PhD students back on campus, raring to go fast to compensate the 2-year slow academic pace due to COVID. Not only the academics, we are also awaiting to experience the students' buzz in sports, cultural, and other extracurricular activities. I wish to thank all at the Institute who made these achievements possible under very difficult circumstances. The Institute acknowledges the support from Ministry of Education and the members of all statutory bodies of the Institute and the faculty from external institutes for their share in online teaching. I sincerely thank Professor J.B. Joshi, Chairman, Board of Governors, for his constant support and guidance for the Institute, and Professor Gagandeep Kang for her gracious presence as chief guest in today's function. We look forward to Professor Kang's address. I wish to congratulate all BSMS and PhD students who are graduating today, who graduated today, and I'm sure they will make us proud in whatever they choose to do in future. Thank you all for your participation in this event.
Thank you, Professor Ganesh, for presenting the report on the Institute's activities. I now request Professor J.B. Joshi, Chairperson, Board of Governors, IISER Tirupati, to deliver his address.
Professor Gagandeep Khan, Director N. Ganesh, other faculty, my dear students, and the non-teaching staff. Good morning to all of you. First of all, I'm grateful to Professor Gagandeep Khan. Her presence has improved the constructive ambience of the IISER Tirupati, and your continuous support will be welcome. I am also thankful to the director and the entire administration for the huge progress that they have done in IISER Tirupati in less than 7 years. I again congratulate the graduating students, and I'm confident that they will do exceedingly well in their chosen fields. I would like to give 2 or 3 tips on the basis of maybe personal experience as well as the people I have met. The first tip I give is the energy balance and time balance. It is known that we spend a lot of our time in anxiety. We try to curse ourselves regarding the experiences in the past, and since we are not sure about the future, we enter into anxiety. Now, this is very important because we know the well-known journal Nature. They did a systematic survey of Indian scientists, and the average efficiency of Indian scientists is less than 3% time efficiency. Most of the time you can analyze yourself, that is while taking bath, what exactly you are doing. So if you take a diary and write down every 15 minutes what you are doing and see whether you are doing better than nature's observations. But there is a possibility that you can improve. I don't want to make miracles, but even you improve the efficiency up to 20%, that will be great. In addition to our chosen field, the nature is very beautiful. The lakes are beautiful, the oceans are beautiful, Himalaya is beautiful, all the jungles are beautiful. The people, our parents are beautiful, brothers and sisters are beautiful, our friends are beautiful, our teachers they are beautiful. So it is very important to understand, most of the time we remain introvert and do not understand or recognize the presence of these beautiful things. Your mothers, they cook something great for you when you go back to home, and you don't appreciate that. Appreciate means while eating the food itself, you have not enjoyed it, and therefore the question of appreciation doesn't come. So the contribution of mother and father that has done to your life, at least once in a month, if not faster than that, or maybe once in 3 months, you thank your brother, thank your parents, thank your brothers and sisters. My experience is what we receive from the society is several times more than what we do for the society. There are so many problems faced by our Indian people, and we should always think that what is that I am doing for the cause of society as compared to continuous. We get awards, honors, and recognitions, we get salary, we get plenty things. And what is that we do? Our nation is poor mainly because the hundreds and hundreds of problems, the number is increasing because research in those areas of value addition does not happen and the nation has remained more poor. So while congratulating you, I appeal you to understand, go around your state, go around our country, go around your village or town. There are plenty problems. The town waste is a problem. Now, every subject is useful for solving the national problem. So, this is my very pet appeal that try to understand the problems of our nation and spend your time, if possible 100%, but at least 20%, in order to at least equalize the equation that the society and the nation has given to us. I think I will stop here. Thank you very much. I like the association and I feel proud of my association with IIT Tirupati. Thank you.
I now request Professor J.B. Joshi, Chairperson, Board of Governors, to introduce the Chief Guest, Professor Gagandeep Kang, FRS, Department of Gastrointestinal Science, Christian Medical College, Vellore, and to invite the Chief Guest to deliver the Convocation Address.
I feel proud that I have given this opportunity to introduce Professor Gagandeep Kang. Professor Gagandeep Kang is Professor of Microbiology at the Christian Medical College in Vellore, India. Head of the Wellcome Trust Research Laboratory, Executive Director, Translational Health Science and Technology Institute, and Autonomous Institute of the Department of Biotechnology. He received her training in medicine, microbiological and Christian Medical College, Vellore in South India. As a physician scientist, she has led key studies that contributed to the development and introduction of 2 Indian rotavirus vaccines into the National Immunization Program. These vaccines are now WHO pre-qualified and have begun to be introduced in the countries beyond India, with Professor Kang's laboratory continuing to support their evaluation and licensure. Her group's community-based birth cohort studies have addressed infection, growth and development over 20 years, resulted in multiple insights into the complexity of the interactions between environment and infections in children and the influence of prior infections on subsequent response to vaccination. Her work was the first to demonstrate that oral rotavirus vaccines would not perform well in resource-poor settings. Her studies in this context have supported not only the use of the best scientific approaches to field and laboratory studies, but also build a cadre of Indian researchers that are expanding into related areas of research. Most recently, she has worked with colleagues to develop and run a multi-tier and multi-site national surveillance for typhoid in India. The comprehensive studies on burden, costing risk, and transmission and modeling of the potential impact of vaccines have demonstrated the need for vaccine introduction in India and under consideration by the National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization. Professor Kang has built an internationally recognized, globally competitive research program in energetic infections, which develops its own priorities aligned with industry need. Her expertise in setting the research agenda, conception, proposal development, research mobilization, implementation, and data analysis of research initiatives and translating them into health policy and programs in India have built a model for research that is developed and led in a low resource country and has implications for the world. In addition to her work in Vellore, India, Professor Kang took on the challenges of leading the Department of Biotechnology's Translational Health Science and Technology Institute from 2016 to 2020 to establish there the translational science that is missing in the India medical research ecosystem. The programs that were initiated there have been critical to supporting the multiple vaccines development efforts of India vaccine manufacturers and have received global recognition with the inclusion of PHSTI laboratory in the network coordinated by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness and Innovations. Professor Kang's work has resulted in over 400 publications and multiple awards and recognitions, including in 2019, election to Fellowship of Royal Society, the first Indian woman to be so honored. She was also awarded the prestigious Infosys Prize in Life Sciences in 2016 for her contributions in understanding rotavirus and other infectious diseases. She is a fellow of American Academy of Microbiology, fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences, and fellow of the National Academy of Sciences. Thank you, madam, for coming here and giving a lot of your expertise as well as energy, and it will remain with the Institute for years to come. Thank you. I now request you to give your convocational address.
So, good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me here. And particularly, can you hear me all right? A little too loud now? Yeah. Okay. I'd like to thank Professor Joshi, Professor Ganesh, Professor Ambika, the Registrar, Dr. Mohan Kumar, and all of the faculty of IISER Tirupati for inviting me to join you here today. It is a very special occasion, and I think one of the most important things I want to say to you is you need to recognize how special you are and how special this is, because this institution will grow. It will become very large. You joined at a time when it was small, and you are graduating with a couple of difficult years behind you, but you had the opportunity to get to know your classmates before the pandemic. You were small classes, you were close to your teachers, and this is an experience that very few people get to have. So this is a very, very special occasion for you. It is for all IISERs. a matter of great privilege because the IISERs are leaders in Indian science education beyond the IITs. IISER Tirupati is one of the younger IISERs, but it's growing rapidly and it's evolving its identity. And I like the logo, which consists of both a golden spiral and a lotus, the national flower of India and of Vietnam. And it reflects your aspirations of growth and your engagement with the future and with science in natural settings. This is a time of great celebration, and I join your faculty, your friends, your families in congratulating all of you who've received your degrees today, and especially all of you, the first PhD students, all of you who got prizes today. These are distinctions that are not easily come by. The past 2.5 years might not have been what you wanted them to be when you started out on your educational journey, but you survived, you've been successful, and the uncertainty and the interruptions that you have had have made your path difficult. But because you've made it through them, you have learned lessons that will stand you in good stead for the rest of your lives. When we look back at the past and we look at the future, we think about, did we do a good job? What happened? And particularly at this time, what happened in the last couple of years to us, to the societies we live in, to the world? What does the future hold for us? And, when people say pandemic, it sounds scary, it sounds terrible, but I have to tell you, we got lucky. We got lucky because this was a virus that infected a lot of people, but it was not the worst that it could have been. We got lucky because science brought us solutions quickly. At the start of the pandemic, 2.5 years ago, did we think we would have vaccines this quickly? And we just celebrated India giving 2 billion doses of vaccines. 2.5 years ago, this was inconceivable. And what we are learning is that human beings are resilient, human beings can work together, and human beings together can find solutions to the toughest problems that face us. Now, because large numbers of people were infected, our health systems were overwhelmed, many people suffered a lot of personal tragedies. There were things that could have been better done. We could have had better logistics, better resourcing, better supply systems, but we have learned a lot from all that we have been through. Now, for me personally also, the past 30 months have been a learning experience because, quite frankly, when the pandemic started, I thought I was the wrong person to be talking about pandemics and viruses because I'm not a respiratory virus expert. And then I realized from all the people that were talking about viruses, I was probably uniquely qualified because I was a virologist who was interested in public health. And the viruses that I worked with were mucosal viruses, much like SARS coronavirus 2. So I thought initially that I shouldn't be talking about what was happening in the world. And then I started listening to people, to family, to friends, and I realized there were so many gaps in people's knowledge. And whenever you have a loud voice that speaks up, that loud voice repeating itself time after time becomes accepted fact. So as scientists, it is our responsibility to counter those narratives if we do not believe them to be true. There is uncertainty, we learn all the time, but it is our responsibility to get the facts as we know them out there all the time. And that pretty much has been what I've been doing. It's been a cycle of listening to things that people are saying, trying to understand the gaps in knowledge, in policy, and then attempting as best I can to communicate what we know, what we don't know, what our opportunities for mitigation are, with honesty and without hype. And I think that's about the best that all of us can try to do. We've been through these difficult times, we've survived, we've had losses, very serious losses for many people. For all of those who have suffered, I hope that you were able to find in your friends, your family, your support systems, the sympathy and the strength that you needed. We were all in all of this together. And I know that there was devastation for many. For the fortunate ones who did not themselves experience this devastation, I hope that you had the opportunity to provide the comfort and the care that others needed, because this was a time that will go down in history as a time that challenged all of us, and we have to think about how we responded. Whatever we did, I think we are at a stage today where we can recognize the lessons of the distant past, the recent past, and we can look towards the future. India is a very young country, 75 years this year, and you are one of the first generations where most of your grandparents would have been born after India became independent. In our 21st century world, a world that is defined by very rapid change and the creation of our own bubbles that we live in and don't necessarily interact with others, we need to think about how society is changing and how we are being confronted now with increasing complexity and increasing opportunities. So I think what you need to be thinking about is the merging of knowledge of the leading ideas that shape our worldview and acquiring in your education the ability to think about what is really required, make those informed choices and inferences, make intelligent decisions. This really is the basis of your education. You are going to be part of that changing India, that changing world, and your education is foundational to all the challenges and the opportunities that you will face. So I have a few things that I'd like to discuss with you. And the first is, if we are to think about solutions that outpace problems in the world, as has been shown in the pandemic, the first and most important thing is that we work together. We need to support each other. This is not just about interdisciplinary research, it's also about interactions, thinking about what builds those effective collaborations between people in science and people in society. Now, if you want to do these impactful collaborations, it only becomes possible if we empathize, if we listen, if we have the ability to understand and respond to the feelings of others. So whether it is friends or colleagues or families, we need to listen. Do you listen? I think when we engage in conversations, very frequently we are thinking about how to answer that. It's not about, am I really hearing what the other person is telling me? And I think that's something that you have to train yourself towards sometimes. Some people are good listeners, but in a rapidly responsive world, it becomes harder and harder to listen and to empathize. Empathy has actually been defined as the ability to imagine yourself in someone else's position, to intuit what that person is feeling, to stand in their shoes, to see with their eyes, to feel with their hearts. It's the ultimate virtual reality, climbing into another person's mind to experience the world from that person's perspective. We can't do it all the time, but we need to learn to do it some of the time. And if we can do this, if we can understand what it is to walk a mile in other people's shoes, we will understand what it is that we need to do to help not just ourselves, but all of society as well. To do something meaningful like this, impactful, is really what distinguishes us in life. The scale doesn't matter so much, but to be meaningful in somebody's life, to be meaningful in society, I think really makes us special. We spend a lot of time on our devices, and that in some ways, it opens up our world and it also closes it, because we don't seem to have the time to think about exploring the possibilities and the opportunities of who we can really be. Now, for you, you're at the start of your education, the start of your journey. Some steps, school, college, are behind you, but there is a lot more to come. And I hope that you will find a way to make your daily actions meaningful. When you go out of your way to help others, when you call out injustice that is meted out, not just to you, but to others as well. When you challenge falsehoods that are advertised as truth. Sometimes when you choose a career that is more about making a difference than necessarily about making money. The second thing, moving beyond collaboration, empathy, working together to change the world, is really to embrace the struggle. Now, you've had a tough time over the past couple of years. Life is not going to get easy. And if it gets easy, then you're probably not challenging yourself enough. Your abilities and your skills are absolutely foundational to your careers. As scholars, you really have the tools to be able to change every field of knowledge and application. But you got into IISER. I'm sure all of you did well in school. You're expected by society to succeed. You're expected always to do well. And so far, the path has been clear in school, in college. Now you go out into the world. Can you succeed all the time? I think from here on, if you succeed all the time, you're not challenging yourself enough. You're choosing the easy problems. So set yourself up to try and to fail, because failure is going to teach you a lot more than success does. Everything that is new and valuable requires iteration, requires improvement, and therefore requires failure, learning from what does not work. And in taking on new things, it's absolutely fine to be scared, to be uncertain, but we have to try, because it is the insights that you get from failure that will allow you to improve. Think of all the opportunities you'll miss if you always play it safe. That's why I say embrace the struggle. It's when we struggle that we really learn and we grow. And finally, I'd like to say it's important to be excited. Really, really, really excited about what you're doing and where you're going at work, in your life. You know, I was looking at you coming up for your graduation, and I had my mask on, so you probably couldn't see it, but I was grinning away because it just makes me so happy to see young people and to see young people who have accomplished what they set themselves out to do. I'm excited for you, and I hope that you will be excited and enthusiastic about your work and about your lives, because that reaffirms that what you are doing really has value, and there is no more important motivation. From basic science to direct translational research, there's always a sound and important reason for the work that we are doing. Now, the most important advice I can give you is to be very clear in your head and be able to explain what you are doing to other people. When you can clearly convey what you are doing, the importance of that, the implications of that, that creates a feedback loop that will make you excited about what you're doing, enthusiastic about what you're doing. And you will be able to communicate that to others in a way that builds the importance of science in society. That's what we want. Not just the solutions, but the implementation of those solutions that requires all of us to work together. Finally, I'd like to say that all of us need to recognize that when we do well, as you have done today, we don't do it alone. There are roles that many people have played in your lives that brought you and me here. Our parents who are always there, the extra effort that teachers put in, the friends who help in times of trouble or challenge. The contributors to our paths are many, and recognizing those who help us become who we are, place us where we are, is foundational to our future. So I hope that you will bring your energy, your belief, your ability to face every obstacle to every part of your life, that you will have the passion and the determination to live your lives well, enjoy and be excited about what you're doing, inspire others, and move the world forward. There is no question that there will be challenges to come. But with the strong base of your education and your upbringing, you are ready to take on the world. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Khan, for your inspiring and thought-provoking convocation address to our young graduates. As a token of our appreciation and to take back memories of your participation in this convocation function, the director, on behalf of the Institute, would now present a memento. The Director and Chairperson of the Senate, Professor K.N. Ganesh, will now administer the exhortation to the graduating students. All the graduating students present in the hall are requested to please rise for the exhortation.
Dear graduating students, direct your knowledge and intellectual attainment in pursuit of truth. Be honest in thought, deed, and word, while discharging the duties of your profession. Devote your time for the well-being of society and respect the dignity of the individual. Uphold the values of integrity and scholarship at all times. Be worthy of your alma mater and acclaim its dignity and honor. Strive for the unity, integrity, and progress of our country and mankind at large. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ganesh. The graduating students may now take their seats. I now request Dr. Mohan Kumar, Registrar, IISER Tirupati, to propose the vote of thanks.
We have now come to the conclusion of the third convocation function of our institute, and it is my duty to acknowledge and express our gratitude to many people who have made this convocation function happen. Our chief guest of today's convocation, Professor Gagandeep Kang, FRS, readily accepted our invitation to be the chief guest for the third convocation and consented to deliver the convocation address. in spite of other, in spite of other pressing demands on her time. We are sure, Madam, that your words of encouragement and motivation will be imbibed and be a guiding light for the graduating students. We sincerely thank you for accepting our invitation and for your gracious presence here in person for delivering a truly inspiring and thought-provoking convocation address with tips on listening skills, empathy, embracing the struggle, and having excitement in what we do. Thank you, ma'am. Professor J.B. Joshi, our chairperson, has always been a source of strength with his constant support to the Institute. We thank you, sir, for presiding over this convocation and for sharing your valuable thoughts with the graduating students, particularly on time management and how important recognizing one's family in our success is. We gratefully acknowledge and appreciate the support provided to the Institute by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and the entire team of officers in the ministry. Our sincere thanks are due to Professor K.N. Ganesh, our director, mentor, and team leader, for the confidence that he reposed in us and for his unflinching support to all the faculty, staff, and students. His eye for detail and advice has guided us to plan and execute this convocation meticulously. Thank you, sir. I would like to record our gratitude to all the members of the statutory bodies, the IISER Council, Board of Governors, Finance Committee, the Senate, Building Works Committee for their vision, thoughts, ideas, and guidance. We thank Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT and member on the board, and the faculty and staff of IIT Tirupati for their assistance and cooperation whenever we needed it. Thank you, sir. Our appreciation and accolades are due to the graduating students, the first 3 PhD students, and the students of the BSMS 2017 batch on their successful completion of their academic program. We wish them all the very best in all their future endeavors and are confident that they will excel and distinguish themselves in their chosen professional careers and in the process bring laurels to their alma mater. I also compliment the parents and guardians of all the students who have joined us today in person and online. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation with the Institute in handling the challenges in administering the academic programs during the pandemic and the confidence that you had reposed in us. We thank you for joining us today. The faculty and staff of the Institute need special mention for their untiring efforts in successfully completing the academic curriculum, mentoring and graduating the PhD and BSMS students of the 2017 batch. We acknowledge the contributions of the academic section of the Institute, which manages the life cycle of students in the Institute, ably led by Professor Ambika as the coordinator of academic programs and well supported by the associate deans, the deputy registrar and staff of the academic section. Our Dean of Faculty and Dean Research and Development and the chairs provide leadership to the discipline besides mentoring and guiding the faculty, students, and staff. We thank all of them. We thank the government of Andhra Pradesh and the senior officials of government of Andhra Pradesh, the district administration led by the collector, the municipal commissioner, the TUDA, and the Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam for their cooperation and support. This entire event could not have been made possible without the total commitment and diligent teamwork of administrative, technical, IT, and engineering staff led by the team of Deputy Registrars Kohli, Ramesh, and Lieutenant Commander Himanshu, Assistant Registrars Deepak and Naveen, technical officers from the IT, and the medical assistance team led by the medical officer and nurses. We need to specially acknowledge the dedicated, wholehearted, and untiring effort put in by a whole team of housekeeping, drivers, and security staff and other support staff, whose efforts behind the scenes played out in front of all of us to see. We thank you all. The efforts, guidance, deliberations, and inputs of various committees of the Institute were quite important and useful for the smooth conduct of this event, and we acknowledge all their contributions. We also thank Mrs. Ganesh and Mrs. Satyanarayana for gracing this occasion and being here with us today. I would like to once again express our gratitude to one and all who are here with us in person and online, and who continue to travel with us in the journey of IISER Tirupati with a vision to create infinite possibilities and achieving excellence. Thank you. I now request our Chairperson, Board of Governors, Professor J.B. Joshi, to declare the third convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed.
Now I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem. All are requested to please remain standing till the academic procession leaves the hall.